because I studied at the Croatia University of Technology, and at the end of my master, so you have to a little bit to specialize, and you had different fields, and I was very interested in the biomedical engineering field, and one of the professors there was Future, and EEG interested me, so yes, so I joined this group, EEG, and then did my master's there, and so this is the reason how I came into BCI. My best memory was actually when I did my experiments with the wheelchair patient in Graz. Actually, we did the experiment in London, so we were flying, he and me and the caregivers, everything, to London, to an experiment in the virtual reality cave installation here in London. And when everything worked out and he had perfect control, and this was like gorgeous. Definitely Fucella, because he was my PhD supervisor. So he has big influence, but I cannot name, so Fucella definitely have to name as a person, but I also met few of the other people around, which giving you a different impression, because of course one person sees things from this view, but you have other views around, and if you go to conferences and then you see how people are going this is giving you influence, but I cannot name there a person which giving you that this is the other one who had the strongest impact. From a current point of view, where I am now and what I did up to now is I've spent now my master's, my PhD, and my postdoctorate on BCI. So there we are lacking to really bring to something useful. Up to now it's a nice play tool. But as long as the patient are using this, in having a proper control of what they want to do with that, we are still failing. So this is what I definitely want to accomplish at the moment, to somehow bringing this to the guys who want to do. To be honest, I don't see any breakthrough technology at the moment. At the moment, what we're having a tool, BCI, and we're just trying to apply it. So there's, from my point of view, a little bit of a gap of what we want to do and what we can do. Something like I have a screwdriver, and I apply it now on a screw knob A, and a screw knob B, and a screw knob C. But it's not, we have to get rid of the screwdriver, so we have to see it as a whole. Sure, this combination of things makes it better for the patients, hybrid, or if you want to combine it with eye tracking or whatever, because whenever a patient has something, you can use it, for him it's the best. So this is something which will definitely help the patients. But from the pure BCI point of view, at the moment I don't see any real breakthrough. Definitely the hybrid, because there we're trying to overcome the problems which are the most problematic ones. Like I mentioned today, like the BCI, you have the difference between what you train and what you want to use on, and how you can do that. And if you have more than one channel, you could overcome of the few of the limitations we know BCIs have. So this is definitely something. The other thing is, if depending on which signals we're looking, if you're looking on EEG-based signals, definitely dry electrodes or electrodes which you can just put on, put off. So that you overcome the long times of preparing and mounting and washing and whatever. So if this is solved, this is something very important for EEG-based systems. If we look on patients, and there it depends on which level of patient you look, but if I'm a heavily disabled patient, I'm pretty sure ECOG or something like this will have a stronger impact in the future, because if I know, like a pacemaker, if I know I have an operation, but this helps me now for the next 15 years, and I have this and this improvement of my life, I can, you can justify the risks you have with this operation or whatever. So there, I think for heavily disabled people, this could be, which I'm pretty sure it will come. I mean, for something like for rehabilitation purposes, no, because I don't want to make a brain surgery for something like 2 months of training and that's it. No way. But for the other thing, I definitely see this will be something which come in the future. Yes. They are not exclusive to each other. They have both, both have advantages and both have disadvantages. There is nothing which is the perfect one, and they are somehow, they're not really orthogonal, but they're not exclusive. You have both fields where you definitely, very promising, can use it in the future. The game industry can help us in developing a lot of things. We just have to be careful what they are doing and how we can use it, because not everything will be perfectly transferable. Yeah? Because they, of course, you have, how should I say that? You're fulfilling two different market goals. The one is like you want to sell it and you want to have a huge sales and people should have fun with that. And the other thing is where I want to help. So also there I cannot say one is completely good and one is completely bad. We just have to be careful and watching what is going on so that we can somehow use the things and can somehow separate the things. So I will not say which groups to fund because this is changing over the time, because it depends on what we want to do. You always need the, how should I call it, the best people for the best job. From the directions, I would like that we are not abandoning path we are going at the moment, because we are still not clear what we can get out of that. We have spent a lot of money, say, in what we're doing up to now, but we're still not there. So, okay, this is good. This should be definitely abandoned. This will reach something or will not reach something. So I hope that the funding scheme is still open. So it's flexible because we have now very good ideas. But in 5 years, we got influence from so many other fields. Look at what's happening around, especially in the computer industry. Something appears within a year and it's so popular then, and it's so good, and nobody has thought about this before. So we should definitely keep it open so that we're not saying we only fund this direction, everything else is bad. Would be too risky from my point of view. How I got the definition up to now, it's a brain-computer interface. You need a brain signal for controlling something. Huh? Now you have the extension. If you have a hybrid BCI, it's defined as a BCI plus something else. So you have already different variations. From my point of view, it's like, okay, if I define a BCI is a brain signal, then there should be a brain signal involved. Yeah? For the future, if I look at a patient, they should use whatever they have available. Yeah? And if it is a BCI or not a BCI, it's for them, doesn't matter. But nevertheless, you should call, from my point of view, a BCI if something has a brain signal included. If I'm just using a joystick, this is for me not a BCI. Also, I control it officially with my brain, because luckily I still have control about that. So this is for me not. And then there we definitely have to be clear to say what it is and what is not. So the TOBE project is tools for brain interaction, meaning about bringing the BCI and having tools for the BCI to apply on patients. For me, there is, up to now, the BCI was mostly used in our labs with the experts and so on, and very defined project locations, but not really with patients. So there, we already saw a lot of things that how you can really apply it, not just controlling a bar, but controlling something more. Because if you just have a patient controlling the bar, no. If you can write, yes, that's very good. He can interact. I personally see there the benefit, especially with the merging of not only BCI plus other signals, to see how we can overcome problems which the BCI has, and actually how the users see this. Because always like we have very good ideas what we want to do and think, how clever we are and whatever, but nevertheless some people have something completely different opinion about what we are thinking of what we're doing. So there, especially if we're defining things and if we can test on that, we're getting so much feedbacks and we learn so many things. So this is where I see the interesting part in Tobii, to bring this technology towards the users and getting their feedback of what we're doing.